Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is season 3 of the Flock Together podcast in partnership with Visit Norway. And we're here today at the Shangri-La at the Shard, London, and we are joined by Gaby. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Very good, very good. Now, we have never been on a trip together, but I feel like we've heard stories of each other's trips, like through mutual friends and stuff like that. So I'm very much looking forward to when we eventually go to Norway, because I feel like you're a drama.
Well,
Not you personally,
Not
but
me personally,
you seem to find the drama.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I always seem to just kind of find trouble for some reason, but
I can't imagine why.
I mean, right, innocence. But no, I do seem to always kind of have a story or two that comes out of every trip I do. But look, you've got to make them memorable. You've got to stand out somehow, so there you go.
These are the best trips, and yeah, you always tell me a story and you're like, you never guess what this person did and this person. I'm like, give me the tea.
Gladly.
Yeah, you're a tea server.
I am absolutely a tea server. I like that. I think I might add that to my LinkedIn profile.
So, talking of memories, what was your first ever work trip?
Gosh, so I was thinking about this and I actually couldn't remember, but then I did. So I think my very first work trip was actually to Copenhagen. It was with, I think, the meeting space at the time, a little fam trip, and it was my very first fam trip as well. I had just come over from client side to agency side and the kind of big world of being in an agency, and had never heard of a fam trip before, had no idea what to expect, and was just kind of blown away by the fact that I got to go to such an amazing destination with all these incredible people from the industry to network and explore and all of that. And I just remember coming back being like, yeah, I think this is going to be my career thing. So yeah, I'm good. No, it was brilliant. It was really good.
It does make me laugh that client side doesn't quite get to put their feet in as much as the agency side. Yeah. And then suddenly you go agency side and you're like, oh wow, this is just constant.
It's a whole different world. It's like the kind of, the curtains kind of go up and you kind of really experience what it is like working in the industry. And this is why I'm so glad I made that step. And whenever I meet people that are client side, and I always ask the question, would you be interested to go agency? And like, they kind of like the comfort of being client side. But I'm such an advocate of it. I always kind of say to anybody, and especially new people in the industry as well, like, just take the risk. Sometimes you do just need to take a step down just to kind of get into it, but it is absolutely worth it, and it does pay off later on in life. So yeah.
Yeah, and the variety and creativity it's
exactly.
100%. And what was your most recent work trip?
Oh my gosh, did an incredible trip to Vancouver, which was a pre-fam ahead of going to IMEX. I absolutely love Canada, so I was so excited when it came about. I was like, can I go to Vancouver, please? And they're like, yeah, sure. Nobody else is going. I'm like, yes, great. And it was just incredible. I mean, like I said, I love Canada as it is, and I'd never been to the West Coast, and the itinerary just looked insane, and it was just beautifully planned, and we got to experience so many different things. It's definitely left a very good lasting impression of the destination, both for kind of leisure, but equally for kind of a MICE trip as well, and kind of looking on a more client side. So yeah, it's brilliant.
It's my last city to tick off in Canada. I've sort of worked my way from east to west, and I've gone through each province, and I've done all the major cities you can imagine, and all the key areas in Canada you'd want to visit. But I haven't gone as far to Vancouver yet.
Oh my gosh. If you ever get an opportunity, or even if for yourself, like, definitely get over there. It is an incredible destination. There's just the whole city just offers so much. Like, you don't actually understand how much variety there actually is until you actually land there and you see the landscape and the infrastructure, which is just amazing and beautiful. And yeah, definitely recommend it to definitely get out there.
Love it. The next part is all about like reliving and revisiting. So if you could transport your mind back to a destination experience that you had, what would it be?
Right, so I would say Oman. So I went to Oman, it was about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was the first time I'd ever been to the Middle East as well. And as a woman, there was obviously a pre-concept about the Middle East and going out there, and you've obviously heard a lot of things, but again, I'm one of these people where I need to experience it myself before I make any sort of judgment, and that's with anything in life. So I was very up for it, and it was a great group of people we were going with, and I was absolutely blown away by the destination. I mean, the trip and the itinerary was incredible. We stayed at the most beautiful hotel. I mean, we walked into the lobby, and I just thought, oh my gosh, this is like the Guggenheim, like just beautiful architecture. We had the most incredible local guide that took us around, that really gave us like really thorough insights into, you know, Oman and their culture, and you know, the way they function over there, and the way they kind of see the MICE industry as well, because that was a really interesting thing for me, is to understand from their point of view, you know, as a country, how they kind of, you know, look to the West coming in and bringing in groups and things like that. And so that was really interesting. And the absolute cherry on top of everything was we got to stay in one of the desert camps overnight. And it is an experience I will never, ever forget, because it was one of those pinch me moments where you're like, I'm in a desert, in a tent in Oman, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow. And we had amazing food. We'd done like a dune buggy safari. We all decided to get up at like 4 a.m. to go and see the sunrise in the middle of the dunes as well, with one of the guys that was with us from the DMC. And yeah, I just remember on the plane back just thinking, oh my goodness, I could relive this trip over and over again. So yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was so good.
The whole destination is wonderful, but I think it's certainly feels like the most inclusive, or one of the most inclusive parts of the Middle East. And to be fair, you know, I think the Middle East is becoming more Western welcome.
Absolutely.
In that, you know, they're embracing diversity a little bit more. But yeah, there's always been that kind of preconception.
Absolutely.
And I think it is slowly coming down. But Oman is one of the destinations that feels like it's leading the way a little bit, because, yeah, I feel like, you know, that area can be a bit cautious or a bit more reserved, and rightly so, because everyone has their own cultures. But I think when I've been there, the groups that I've been has been very diverse, and they've all felt very welcome.
Absolutely. And I think this is why it is so important for us to go and visit these types of destinations, because exactly that, you know, when you're sitting down with clients and you're looking at destinations for, you know, any sort of event or incentive, you know, it's destinations like that always kind of come up where they go, oh, I don't know. And when you've been yourself and you can actually relay that experience. And like I say, I think sometimes when you're kind of in that group, the more diversity group, a female, you know, you kind of instill a little more trust in the destination as well. And I certainly felt like that. And ever since, whenever I've spoken to clients about taking groups out there, you know, I've explained to them how I felt and how, you know, I didn't actually worry about it at all at any point. And I was really made to feel so comfortable. And, you know, there's always a level of respect you have to obviously take with you to a country like that or destination like that, because, you know, it isn't the West. They do have certain cultural particularities that you do need to bear in mind and be respectful towards. But I think as soon as you can understand that, and as soon as you can relay that to your group, and actually that's part of the experience as well, you know, definitely when you go into the mosques and, you know, the more religious places, which again are just so beautiful, you know, culturally and from an infrastructure point of view as well, and would always recommend those as part of the experience. And, you know, you are asked to cover up and all of that. It's one of those things where, again, you kind of come away with that experience of, wow, I really kind of thrust myself into that and really took away that feeling of being in such a place, you know, and kind of with your guide telling you about it and all of that. So so that, again, like I say, it's so important that we experience those types of destinations to be able to relay that first-hand experience to our clients in that decision-making process. And hey, I'm always up for a great trip. So yeah, I would never say no to anything like that. But yeah,
Totally agree. And then if you could make any hotel a home, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Oh, this question is so difficult, because I've had so many incredible experiences at so many hotels. I mean, this hotel alone is just magnificent. But another hotel that I stayed at that was, again, just absolutely breathtaking was the Four Seasons in Bangkok. It was because obviously when you go to Bangkok, it's a very loud, very busy city, and it kind of gives you a little insight into what it's like in Thailand and in that kind of real city setting. And then you walk into the hotel and you really feel like you've just been transported into this oasis in the middle of a city. And it's almost surreal as well when you kind of walk out the door again and then walk back in again. But just everything from the smell of it to, you know, the way the team kind of helped us with everything. And I mean, the bedrooms are beautiful as well. And yeah, it's absolutely stunning property. So yes, we'll definitely go back again.
Well, this is it. Bangkok is such a crazy city. And I remember the first time I went, it was a holiday and, you know, traveling. So very much a different experience. Then I went with the tourism board and went on site visits to see some of these incredible properties. And I was like you say, you go through the doors and suddenly like, it's like a vacuum. It's just, suddenly like the sound is gone. Yeah. Everything is peaceful. It smells delicious. And you're like, what? We're in Bangkok still. And I love that kind of juxtaposition of going from crazy, vibrant energy to then just relaxation, and all it is a door away.
I know. And that's the whole thing as well. You know, it's when you're looking at property, so obviously you look at the destination and then you look at the property for groups. And it is that kind of, how can you elevate it to really transport them to an experience that's going to be long lasting? And it's little things like that you literally go, oh my goodness, what is going on? Where am I? It's like that Alice in Wonderland kind of moment that you kind of experience. So no, I love any property that kind of does that. So yeah.
Got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Put it up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go.
So the next part of the podcast is reimagine, and this is an opportunity for you to kind of reimagine your role. Instead of planning for clients, it's plan a trip for yourself, an incentive trip, you know, once a lifetime experience. Where would you go? What would you do? And which celebrity would you bring with you?
Okay, so destination-wise, it would probably be somewhere like Bora Bora, only because I've never been. I've never really done that kind of Maldives, Mauritius, island vibe thing. Always wanted to, so it's really high on my bucket list.
I'm surprised you give that vibe. I'm surprised.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah.
you know. No, I haven't, sadly, but I'm sure I'll get there one day. No, it's definitely something like Bora Bora, just because it just looks like a piece of heaven on earth. I just think that natural beauty piece of just, you know, the turquoise ocean and just the way the hotels are built there as well would be incredible. I think program-wise, although I'm going to kind of sit on the beach with a cocktail all day kind of girl, I'd love that. I would want to get involved in some local activities. I always, you know, feel that, you know, as an industry and as somebody that travels a lot, I think there is definitely something to say about giving back and kind of trying to understand, you know, something about the locals of the community of where you're going. You know, we're so fortunate at what we do and the experiences we have. And there's always kind of, for me, there's always an eye on kind of the less fortunate and how, you know, you can kind of get them involved and kind of showcase that it's not just the beauty, there's actually a lot more behind it and, you know, the locals and all of that. So love to get involved in some sort of local, you know, program, you know, kind of a giving back scheme or something like that. Go meet the locals and kind of spend some time with them. So again, kind of have that real balance between the beauty with the behind the scenes piece, which I love anyway. And then celebrity wise, so I love a comedian. to me, I have to have humor around me. There has to be some sort of comedic effect. So
That's why you like spending so much time with me.
I mean, exactly,
I get it.
right?
It makes sense. Yeah.
So my celebrity would actually be Trevor Noah, because I think he is the funniest human being on the planet.
Great shout.
Obviously, I've got a bit of similarities to him. I was obviously born in South Africa, so there's so much that he talks about on a serious note as well as a comedic note that I can really relate to. And I just think doing some sort of local tour with him would be just fascinating and incredibly funny at the same time. So yes, it'd probably be like someone like Trevor Noah.
He's so intelligent and wise and, very serious about issues, but then has this unique gift to make anything so funny. And I remember when I was in Sydney for the first time with family, he was performing at the Opera House and we went to see him.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this is great. Like, I love live comedy anyway, but then to see Trevor Noah in the Opera House and he did one of his, best hours that's on Netflix now. And I just remember thinking, what a great experience. But I have so much admiration for him because I just think he is that perfect balance of someone that you respect and want to listen to, but can also have a direct line to your funny bone.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he is. He strikes such an incredible balance with that. And the way he tells his stories as well, it's just, huge fan.
And finally, what would be your letter to the industry?
Oh, I really had to think about this because I think there's so much that can be said, especially I think when you've been in this industry for a very long time. But having thought about it, I think my letter would be, and this goes to both those just entering the industry now, so the kind of new generation of event organisers and planners, but equally also to those like myself that have been in the industry for a very long time, is take a moment to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Look at what we're trying to achieve and look at what that does to the people that we're trying to do this for. And what I mean by that is, we can get so sucked into the detail of budgets and planning and all of that we do forget that what we're creating are moments, unforgettable moments for people that don't do this on a day-to-day basis. And it might be the very first time they've ever experienced an event that we have helped, our clients organise. And I think we do fall victim to that in kind of putting our heads down and just doing the do and kind of getting to the end, the final, the completion of it all. But sometimes just taking that little moment and that step back to understand what it is that we're trying to achieve and how much value that carries as well. And going above and beyond in that respect as well. It's not all about money and making money and all of that. And I think sometimes we get wrapped up in that as well. And I think especially since the pandemic, that had such an impact on our industry. And there's so many, agencies that fell victim to that or people that left the industry, which to me was just so sad to watch. And I think we've spent, the last 4 or 5 years just really trying to make our way back from that I think we're now in that kind of position where we can actually take a deep breath and actually look at it from a more holistic point of view and almost give ourselves a pat on the back for what we do, because I think we make such an impact on people and we actually forget that we do and how much of an impact we make. And it's when you speak to somebody on site, a delegate or one of your clients, and it's just a little chit chat on the side and you ask them, how did you feel about this, or did you enjoy that? And you listen to their story, and it just, I don't know, it's the reason I do what I do, and I'm so passionate about it because it does take that one little moment to make a huge difference in someone's life that you don't necessarily always pay attention to. So that would be my letter, and especially, like I say, for the younger generation as well, because I think it's very overwhelming when you come into this industry. You want to do a really great job. You're working crazy days and crazy hours. You want to make a good impression. It's it's very high pressure, and I think especially younger people really feel that a lot more. So I always try and get the kind of younger guys that are on site to just kind of enjoy it as well. Just enjoy it, because what you do is so amazing, and there's so many people out there that are probably really jealous of what you do, and you do get to a point where you take it for granted. So take a step back, actually look at the bigger picture and just really take it in and enjoy that.
And I'm personally obsessed with delegate experience. I've worked with events teams so many times in collaborative way, organising events, and I'll always be the custodian of the delegate. There'll be people talking about sponsorship and budgets and have we got enough of this, have we got enough of that, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be the one what about the attendees? You know, like,
Absolutely.
and because for me, it's like every step of the journey, every experience. I think because I've been the delegate or the attendee for so often, that I'm like, I just want them to have those magical moments. And you know, okay, doesn't matter about this and that. Like, for me, I think you get that right, and all of the other stuff falls in place. Sponsors are going to be happy, and you know, the logistics will just work because you've done this and you've done that. It just, often people do get bogged down with the details. They do get kind of, because there are bigger picture stuff that they have to worry about, but yeah, I think it can sometimes get overlooked.
Oh, that delegate journey is so vital, and it's why, you know, we've got the tagline, every moment matters, because it does. From the initial point of like that contact piece of inviting somebody right through to them going home, every single little moment that you create throughout that journey will stay with them and will, you know, for a very long time. You know, we move on, but for them, it's that once a year or once in a lifetime kind of piece that they will take with them and cherish, you know, so yeah.
So the final part is a quick fire round.
Oh my gosh.
Really simple, A and B answers.
Fab.
Packing, last minute or week before?
I really want to say week before, but it's never like that. It's always last minute. And as I'm running out the door, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just forgotten my bra. And I'm running back in the house. Yeah, no, definitely last minute.
We're the same people. I've actually missed Ubers more than once because they've been waiting outside while I'm still packing.
Oh my gosh.
Like there's a point where I would go like, oh, your Uber has cancelled you. And I'm like, cool, thanks. But you know, my own fault.
Book the next one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carry on or check in?
Check in, because I always have way too many pairs of shoes with me.
It's a good way to control the shoe hoarding.
Yeah.
Airport lounge or shopping?
Lounge. Oh, I love an airport lounge. Oh gosh.
So bougie.
It's so bougie.
Aisle or window?
Oh, window. Oh no, I need my little nook with the control over the window thingamabobby. Like, no, that's my seat.
That's the thing that people forget about the window seat, is
Right?
the control over the window blind.
It's
you
like,
know?
no, don't touch that. That's me. I'm controlling that. Yes, no, I'm one of those people.
I will dictate when we sleep and when
Exactly,
we don't.
when there will be light and when there won't be light. Yes.
City or nature?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. I am a city girl and I love a city trip, but I also love being in nature. So can I say both?
Oh, go on then.
Go on.
Lay in or early start?
Oh, early start. I am so part of the kind of sleep when you're dead kind of vibe. Like, get up early, enjoy the day, like take it as much as you can. Early start.
And late finish as well.
And late finish, yeah. Maybe 2 hours sleep's more than enough.
Poolside or seaside?
Oh, poolside. I'm not a huge fan of sand.
To be fair, the pool at the Shangri-La, we both got to experience that.
Yes.
Infinity pool overlooking the
Oh my gosh.
skyline of
Any
London.
day.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Planned or spontaneous?
I do love to plan a trip, and I'm brilliant at planning trips. You'd not say that. But I actually do like spontaneity. I love the kind of off the cuff, let's go, we'll figure it out when we get there. So I'll probably say spontaneous, actually.
Breakfast, hot or cold?
I'm not a breakfast person. I'm a coffee in bed, watch the news kind of girl, and then I'll eat at some point in the day.
So a hot coffee.
A hot coffee, yeah, we'll go for hot.
Hotel, room service or restaurant?
Oh, I do love a bit of room service, especially if you're in a nice big fluffy robe in your bed. So no, I'll say room service.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast and being part of the Flock Together community. And I look forward to whatever stories evolve around you when we go to Norway.
Oh no, thank you so much. And congrats on season 3. That's absolutely incredible. And
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to our next trip together.
Yeah.